Welcome to the channel of wealth, rich in wisdom and mental health. This is Jennifer, and her channel is so cool. So come on in and take a pew. All she wants to do is check in with you. She's keeping it real by asking how you feel. Today, ooh, you can say it any old way. Pick an emotion or make one up while sitting with your coffee in your favorite cup. Let it all out by describing your mood. Just don't be lazy and say I'm good. This is Jennifer, and her channel is so cool. Jennifer, Jennifer, your cats have lots of fur. We want to pet your cats to relax our mind. To watch your channel is to truly unwind. Ooh, find a place to be you. The truest version of you, the best version of you. just be you.
Good morning! Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. We have a full house this morning. Good morning, Catherine, Blue Moon Bun, Reboot Radio, Jipple, Ben, Jay. Good morning, friends. How are you guys feeling today? How am I sounding? How's all the audio? Is everything sounding good? Aussie Munster even woke up to say, hi guys. Hello. Hello. Aww. Aww. Feeling great. You'll be back to Russia tomorrow. That's exciting. How long have you been away? Bit echoey? Thank you. It's hard for me. I don't like to use headphones, so I try to have the music as low as possible out here and then let you guys listen to it. But if my voice isn't loud enough, I want to make sure I turn the music down and stuff. Been away for half of the year. Wow. Goodness gracious. I've never even done that, honestly. You've been pretty far. Woohoo! Now we talking. Hey, Jipple. How you feeling today? Blue Moon Bun, how you feeling tonight? How was everyone's Fridays? Happy Saturday morning. Or Saturday. I want uplifting music today, and I'm not sure that my playlist is conducive of that fully. Because I normally listen to calmer stuff. My brain has been a bit hectic, so I don't really know how I feel. Oh, Blue Moon Bun, I'm sorry about that. Have you read your cards on the wall lately? Out loud to yourself? I hear you though. Sometimes it can be hard. Have you heard me talk about my accomplishments class lately or at all? You read them a lot. Good. Puff some jewel. Okay, so Blue Moon Bun. This is my accomplishments jar, okay? For 2020, I'm putting all the things that I accomplished in my jar, right? So every time I get on stream, so I'm about to do that now. I gotta fill out what I feel like I accomplished yesterday. So maybe that's something that you could do to help you feel like you are being a good Blue Moon Bun. Because I feel like sometimes when we have certain days, we struggle to recognize our worth. And I feel like keeping track of my accomplishments is a good way of doing that. Also, I'm going to take a picture of you guys of Munster on the floor right now. Guys, he's killing me. Look at this boy. This is what he's doing right now. Mossy, this is Munster for you. Munster gave us a lick for you. He gave us a lick for you. Oh no, he doesn't like belly rubs. Belly rubs are a no-go. Mossy, I think he gave you the tongue. So it helps you feel better. But if it helps you feel even better, well, it might not. But I cried this morning, and I cried yesterday on stream, and I cried yesterday off of stream. So it's okay to cry, Mossy. Days are hard. Every single day it seems like we just never really know what's going on, you know? So don't worry about feeling bad. Just think about what you can do to feel better because you feel bad. So hopefully hanging out here will help you feel a little bit better. What are you doing, Munster? Why are you pouting over there? Munster is pouting behind me. Hi, Luke. Good morning. I'm glad you're here. Happy Saturday. I cried on my stream yesterday, too. I literally yelled, okay, well, now Jenny doesn't have to worry because I cried, too. Good morning, Carissa. How are you feeling this morning, at least? And I'm glad to hear that you were able to let it out on stream because I feel like it's just really impactful. It allows us to be human, and we need to be being humans right now, the best we possibly can, because not everyone else is being a good human. I woke up and felt like crap. I also got horrible sleep. I'm just trying to move forward. You've got this, Mossy. You're awesome. You know what? The fact that you check in on my stream, the fact that you look for other mental health streams, the fact that you hang out on Twitch, you are doing better for yourself. Munster, why? Look at him. He's sitting on my sack of clutter on the printer. He's just like, I sit here. I sit here, Mom. So, Blue Moon Bun, what do you think about, like, the accomplishment jar? And Reboot Radio, how are you feeling today, if you're still here? I feel in a good mood today after feeling a bit nervy the past few days. Yeah, Luke, I'm really glad you're here. I'm sure that things have been hard with work, so I'm glad you made it through the week. Happy Saturday. Sounds good, friend. I think it's cool because you can, or something you could do, Blue Moon Bun, is write memories. Or write, like, good thing. You could write one good thing each day and put it in the jar. How about that? That's maybe a better idea. So what did I do yesterday? Good morning, Murdoggin. How are you feeling today? Happy Saturday. What did I do yesterday that was productive? That was an accomplishment. I'm feeling tired, trying to feel relaxed with watching my mental health streamers before I have to get ready and do my errands later today. I played a game with my friends last night, and that made me really joyful. Good, I'm glad to hear it, Carissa. That Words on Stream game has started to become a little therapeutic for me on its own. Ben says, go on, what game? Words on Stream, or what other game did you play, Carissa? Stupid withdrawals. I hear you, Mossy. I hear you. Breathe. Take some drinks of water. Pet the Shelly belly. Pet Shelly's belly. I really don't like writing about myself and what I did, so I think I'll just do big accomplishments. Sure, that works, Blue Moon Bun. Whatever you feel like works for you. Just enjoyed a nice morning meditation, so I'm feeling very peaceful. Nice, Murdoggin. I really wish I could learn how to meditate. I mean, I know I can learn, but I want to do it and stuff. Good morning, Nicholas. Good morning, DJ Baritone or Barry. How are you guys feeling this morning? I will hydrate. I did play Words on Stream when I was streaming, but then I played Jackbox 7 with my friends. Nice! I just want to say I hope everyone is okay and everyone in here are amazing humans. You're so awesome, Luke. Yeah, Ben, have you played Words on Stream? And I'm glad, Jenny. I really just want to play Words on Stream, but it's also a nice push to get me to stream on a day like I feel like I'm waffling if I want to or not. Right, exactly. Good morning, My. Good morning. I'm glad to see you this morning. Hugs for last night. I'm sorry I was sleeping. It is wonderful. I'm thinking of doing a discussion on it soon. That's a fantastic idea, Murdog, and you should definitely do that. Also, if you want to, feel free to post in my self-promo channel on Discord so that you could let people know that you're doing that. And yeah, I did see the headspace thing. I will hang out with Shelly and my dad today because I've never felt this bad. Good. I'm glad you're making good choices for yourself, Mossy. Have you read your dailies yet? I know you said you hadn't earlier, but have you yet? Bark just asked if I was streaming today so she could play words on stream. That's a good idea, Luke. It's so consuming. You dropped something in the pet gallery in Discord. Okay. And let me take that hydrate for you. Oh, look at the kitties! Look at the little kitties! Okay, good, Mossy, good. Take it in. Read it. Read it maybe out loud. I just did 2 4-hour streams in a row, so I might not stream today. No, yeah, that makes sense. Take a break when needed, that's for sure. Today, I have my feelings set up, but I actually have an overlay for in like a little bit. I'm going to switch over and maybe do some watercoloring. Because I don't want to sit here and talk about feelings all day. Because I've been feeling it, and it's been a long week, I think, for a lot of us. So, I also have it set up for, like, maybe some YouTube videos, potentially, maybe. So, yeah. You can say that again. It's been a week. It has been a week. Munster, where are you at? Mun boy. I don't know where he went. Sorry. Okay, so what did I accomplish yesterday? Very long. Hugs. Yesterday something happened later in the afternoon that upset me, and then the rest of my day spiraled. I took a nap and woke up feeling better, going to be aware today and try to get through the whole day in one mood. Well, you don't have to get through the whole day in one mood, but I think trying to get through the day aware maybe would be a better way to like put it, so that you can allow yourself to feel different things still, you know? Got one. I did good modding yesterday, so I'm going to put that in there. What else did I do? What else did I do yesterday? I worked on my survey. Hugs for my, hugs for my. Yeah, hard week, very hard week. Group hug. These withdrawals are the worst. I can't wait for this to be over. I'm sorry, Mossy. Hugs. I'm proud of you for doing what you feel is best for you. That is too cute. The gif of the group hug. Deep breaths, everyone. Deep breaths. Where's my spray? not feeling stressed so much as just disoriented. But you helped me complete levels on words on stream. That's true. Isn't that the worst when you're like, no, type what I'm trying to type right now. Type what I want right now. I guess I'll put helped on words on stream. My fingers were like, you mean backwards? That's what I say. Well, today is a new day. Exactly. Did you see this right here? This right here? Every day is another opportunity for you to express some potential the world has yet to see. I like when people come into the chat and help because sometimes the chat slows down and it's hard to complete levels if it's just one or two people. See, I never noticed the lock thing. In fact, do you feel like playing some right now just to get feeling good? Do we want to just play some words on stream right now to help us all feel better? Blue Moon Bun, have you gotten to play? Yes, show me how to. What do you mean? Oh wait. Yeah, what do you want help with, Maisha? I don't want my head cut off. But I guess it's gonna be. I'm always down. All right. Play the game. We're doing it. We're doing it. Oh, how to play the game. Okay, so there's a browser source. So basically you go to the site and I can like send you the site, and then there's like a thing that you add as a browser source. And then it's very, 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 very simple, Maisha, luckily. Okay, guys, we ready? I thought I turned the music off. Off. All right, guys. It's like a word scramble. Just try to find the words in the scramble. Yeah, kind of like what you do on your stream. You've never played this before, Blue Moon Bun? So all you have to do is try to pick out words that you see. Yeah, you just type in the chat, Maisha. Dang it. Are we gonna get this one? Lewd. Word? Whirl? Drew, good job. Reel. Fishing reel. At least we passed the level. Okay, so how do you know if your name is locked or unlocked, Carissa? Oh, okay. I keep seeing the word weed in all of them. No matter how many times you spam the chat, it won't take your word until that lock is gone. Okay, interesting. Okay, guys, we made it past the first level. Okay, guys, ready? Level 2. Oh, that makes sense, Carissa. That's a good idea. Turnip! Nice, Blue Moon Bun! Oh, so there's a lock on our names. I see. I got it now. Putin. And there are 4-letter words and up, unfortunately, my. Punt. Oh no, I'm locked. I'm locked. Blue Moon Bun, I can't believe you got turnip. What about like terp or something? I started yelling at my stream words in the chat when I was locked. Nice, Barry Pint. Good morning, Star. How are you feeling today? Print. Nice. Good job, guys. Good job, guys. We made the level. Great. I'm glad you're feeling great, Star. Pern? I don't even know how to translate this word. I have such a small vocabulary. That's okay, Jay. Blue Moon Button says, that's kind of hard. Oh, ruin. Nice. Well, we passed the level. Sometimes they're easier, Blue Moon Buns. Sometimes it like so far we've had kind of really hard levels. Like level 1 sometimes is harder than like level 5, I feel like. Sometimes. Depending on the word, like the letters they give you. Okay. New one. Roar. Nice. Carrot. Nice. Is there a hidden word in this one? Oh, we had locks. Yeah, try your carrot again. Star, get the word you know. Star, pick tarot. Star, type tarot. Hurry. You're gonna go live today? Nice, you got another deck. No, you're fine, Catherine. Oh no. Tractor, nice. Coat, good job. That's okay, Star. Taco, nice. Tract. Actor. Good job. They're being high maintenance for you, Catherine? Guys, we skipped 2 levels. Nice. Catherine, I decided we were talking about words on stream, so I was like, okay, let's play that. Too educational of a game for me. It was my that I want you to connect with, Star, yes. Oh, someone got celery. Cycler, yeah. What's the other word with the amount of letters is celery? Lear, nice. This one's hard. Cycler. Well, we completed the level. Creel, nice. Ely. Hi, Obscura. How are you feeling today? Rely. Good job. Thank you. Hi, how are you feeling today, friend? Thanks for coming. We're just playing some words on stream because that's what felt the best. I'm going to do some painting a little bit later, I think. I just realized the music hasn't been playing this whole time. I'm sorry, guys. Munster, no! My crackers. My crackers. What if he did this, but the words were feelings or feeling related? That's a really good idea, Blue Moon Bun. I wonder how we could think of something like that. Alright, the fake letter is in shit. Oh, it's not in this, so it's not in shit. Never mind. Chits. Itch. Oh, the E is fake. Okay, cool. Hi, buddy. Munster's here to say hi. He says hello. Mom, this isn't where I wanted to be right now. At least we made the level, guys. Do you make any of your affirmations on like cards or cardstock or anything thicker that I can use in my tarot readings, like shuffle it? Yeah, I'm actually like, I made Rosie like a deck, and then this is for Mr. Ben's voice box. Do you like? Tits. For real? Tits? Yeah, for sure, Star, for sure. I think it's also a word for something else, though. Lard, rail, lizard. Nice. I wonder if the J is fake. My. Look at the little money boy. There are words I don't know, so I can only do so much. You're contributing, Blue Moon Bun. You are. I don't know that many. They all have more points than me at this point. Dial, nice. I have a weirdly large knowledge of words. Blue Moon Bun's like, I like the basketball. I got locked. Killing it. Not laid. Guys, we doing good. Number one. We're number one. See, Blue Moon Bun, I'm like the lowest. Thanks for lurking, Snowflake. Jen, I don't know. Kid? Has to be 4-letter words, unfortunately. Kind, nice. Kidney, nice. Inked, dine. Thanks, guys. There's a hidden letter and a fake letter. I think the J is probably fake. Y is the hidden letter. Man, I don't know anything. Deny, good job. Yeah, I know, I wanted to try that too. Kind. At least we passed the level, goodness gracious. Inky, nice, thank you. Hi Wild, how are you feeling today? How you feeling, friend? You're feeling good? Good, I'm glad. See, look, Blue Moon Bun, I wasn't even in that one. I couldn't think of it at all. Obscura's got this down. Oh, no 4-letter words in this one. Dang it, Jenny. Hey, Blue Moon Boon. Blue Moon Boon. Blue Moon Bud. Happy New Year. Belated birthday. Yay. Hey, friend. Glad you're better than me. Sad face. My, good morning. I was going to put carbs. Racks. Barks. Eris. Nice. Obscura. Thank you. Jax. Okay, no worries, Wild. Okay, thank you. Cool. I don't know any of these words. Barrack, thank you. Cool, we completed the level at least. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Obscura, thank you for coming in here. Cobra, nice. Level 17, my friends. This might be the highest I've ever gotten, so thanks for that. Barack Obama. Just kidding. Oh, my Atlanta! Nope. It has to be 5-letter words, Carissa. Forehead. Nice. So is the hidden letter a U? Otherwise, the Q has to be fake. Oh, the fake word is an R. Or the fake letter is an R. Right. Oh my god, the goal is 122, you guys. Adore. Hoard. Ford. Horde. Fader. Nice, nice. We're almost there, guys. Almost there, almost there, almost there. Fared. Good job. We're not gonna make it. Dang it. Snowflake says, I'm learning new words. Well, nice, guys. We made it to level 17. We made it to level 17. That was nice. That was nice. Good game, guys. Good game. Let's check in and see how everyone is feeling. Feelings, feelings, feelings. Snowflake. Jay. Obscura. Barry, I don't remember if you told me how you were feeling. Such hard words. I still wish they'd just knock us back down to the middle levels. Right! Same. Agreed. My, how you feeling? You're getting through your day, so I'm proud of you for that. going pirating with Luke? Oh! Nice. Nice. Yeah, of course, Carissa. I might pull it back up again. But I was thinking of like, so here's the new overlay I made. I was thinking of like sharing maybe like some YouTube videos or something. And like doing some watercolor. What do you guys think? That was a fun distraction, says My. Big facts. Do you have Steam, My? Guys, there's this game called Puzzle Together, and we can all like participate on a puzzle. Jewel makes me feel like I'm Steam Machine. Jay, you crack me up. You're funny. Steam. Like, so you got The Sims through Steam, right, My? I need some advice or thoughts on something. What's up, Snowflake? What's up? Because I actually think I like this video. Oops, I'll play it because of the ad. Share, Snowflake, share. You didn't have to download that? You should ask your son about it. He might know about it. Blue Moon Bun, you might enjoy this too.
Or it could simply be that you're not improving as fast as you'd like.
How about now?
Let's be real. Life is full of struggles.
Sound good?
You might be failing a class. Your job might be stressful. You might have relationship problems. Or it could simply be that you're not improving as fast as you'd like. I know how hard it can be to keep the motivation to persevere. Our minds simply don't want us to be in an uncomfortable situation. That's why we give up and shy away from it. But even when our minds are telling us that we should call it a day, we usually have more fuel left in the tank. We just have to tap into this fuel. So what can you do to keep on going? How can you push past that mental resistance? The solution is the cookie jar. The cookie jar was created by a guy called David Goggins. Goggins is a retired Navy SEAL who has competed in more than 60 ultra marathons, triathlons, and ultra triathlons, all while also setting new course records and regularly placing in the top 5. Furthermore, he's a former Guinness World Record holder.
Yeah, I think I'm
for
gonna do a little
completing over
watercolor painting
4,000
setup.
pull-ups in 17 hours. He's known to be one of the toughest men alive. He used his cookie jar to fuel all of these achievements and continues to use it to fuel his new successes to this very day. Before I explain how to use it, let me tell you the story of how the cookie jar method was created. Goggins wanted to raise money for Special Operations Warrior Foundation. It's a non-profit organization founded to provide scholarships to the surviving children of the Special Ops soldiers killed in the line of duty. To spread awareness and raise that money, he vowed to run Badwater 135. However, Badwater is the world's toughest foot race and not everyone is able to enter. You have to earn your spot and requirements are sky high. One of them is to have multiple 100-mile races completed. So Goggins went on to sign up for a race where you run for 24 hours straight. the goal being to run 100 miles to qualify for Badwater. And if you didn't know, 100 miles is basically 4 marathons in one go. Goggins looked fit from all his SEAL training, but he was no runner. At least not at the time. In fact, he hadn't run more than a mile in the 6 months prior. Another problem was that the race was in 3 days, so he had zero preparation and training. However, he decided to go on with it anyway. For the first few miles of the race, he felt fine and had no trouble running. But around 25 miles in, he started questioning himself. Can he actually do this? He was feeling tired and he basically had 3 more marathons left to run. But he kept on going. At mile 50, his thighs felt like they were loaded with lead. Each subtle rotation of the ankle felt like shock therapy. Still, he ran. Not fast and not with much style, but he kept on going. Then at mile 70, he couldn't take another step forward. Exhausted from running 70 miles with no training, he sat down to rest. He saw that there was bloody urine dripping down his leg, mixed with diarrhea. He was feeling beat down and it was one of the lowest points of his life. He kept on asking himself, why? Why are you still doing this to yourself? Why did he keep on going when he should have quit 5 hours ago? He then remembered this wasn't the first time he'd taken on an impossible task, and he suddenly felt some energy build up. He started walking slowly, step by step. He kept on digging in his past while remembering all his previous victories. He tapped in the emotional state that he felt during those victories and got the energy he needed to keep on going. His feet were still a bloody mess, full of blisters, but it gave him just enough drive to sustain him until the 100-mile mark. And that's what the cookie jar is. All your past achievements and failures that you overcame.
Do you want to earn a living online? Well, the reality is you have 2 options. First, you can build a business like all these 2-hour webinars.
Now, you might not be interested in running an ultra marathon. However, I believe you would like to be able to keep on going even when you feel like giving up. That might mean studying longer even if it's extremely boring. It might mean working on your side business even if you're tired. Or it just might mean going to the gym even if it's raining outside and you don't feel like it. Whatever it is, eventually there comes a point where your mind will tell you to give up and you'll need to push back to get through it. This is where we use our cookie jar and we draw inspiration from our past victories. But first, you need to make the inventory of your cookie jar. So take a piece of paper and write it all out. And don't just write down your achievement list. Include life obstacles you overcame as well, like overcoming your shyness, conquering depression, or mastering
You
your
hearing
fear
this,
of
my?
heights.
You
Whatever.
hearing this, Catherine?
It doesn't have to be a massive victory either. It could be something as small as doing the dishes or taking out the trash when you didn't feel like it. Even if you're feeling low and beat down by life right now, I guarantee you can think of a time or two when you overcame odds and tasted success. We all have a cookie jar inside us because life being what it is has tested each one of us. However, I would like to point out that sometimes you need to stop whatever you're doing and take a break. You don't want to ignore the signs your body is giving you. Your mind convincing you to stop is one thing, but when your body starts shutting down, you should pause. Remember, we're not wired to be active 24/7, and rest is actually productive. So it's good to have a limit or a threshold where once you pass it, you call it a day. Bloody urine and diarrhea dripping down your leg is usually a good sign that your body wants you to stop. If you value your long-term health, that is. Now, after you've set a limit for yourself and have some cookies ready in your jar, make sure to take a bite out of the cookies when you need to. Whenever you face a challenge, whenever you want to give up, you open the cookie jar and pick a cookie. The cookie reminds you of something you overcame and how far you've come. This is all about utilizing your past successes to fuel you to new and bigger achievements. Digging in the cookie jar is hard at first and it takes focus and determination. Your mind doesn't want you to go there. It wants to remind you that you're suffering and that your goal is impossible. Before you stop short of your goal, dunk your fist in, pull out another cookie, and let it fuel you. Then get back to work. Eventually, what will happen is you'll slowly build up your mind to be more mentally tough. Impossible will turn into I can do this. So keep your mind from giving up, use your cookie jar today, and you'll become better than yesterday. Hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.
Wow! Alright, so we're doing it the right way, my. We're doing it the right way.
There's a pattern to genius. There's a method behind the magic. I always tell people my inspiration was...
This one looks cool.
When I was younger, I used to play a lot of video games. But as I grew older, they started taking too much time from my other activities. For this reason, I started to gradually reduce the time I spent playing them until I eventually quit. But recently, I decided to incorporate some more downtime into my schedule, and I gave video games another shot. This is when I remembered just how fun video games can be. It wasn't long before I was looking forward to the end of the day just so I could hop on the computer and play. But this also got me wondering, what exactly made those games so compelling? And could I somehow apply those game elements to other areas of my own life to make them more desirable? This is what I've learned. Most video games are structured in a way so that throughout the game our brain consistently releases dopamine. I'm sure many of you are already aware, but for those of you who don't know, dopamine is a neurotransmitter associated with wanting and desire. It's one of the reasons why we want to repeat certain behaviors over and over and why we have the motivation to pursue something. You could say that dopamine is kind of like a carrot on a stick. Wherever the carrot goes, we want to follow. And video games are really good at constantly dangling this carrot right in front of you. Especially RPGs, also known as role-playing games where you level up and play a fictional character in a virtual world. These types of games can be particularly addicting because they have what I like to call a dopamine trail. Essentially, the game has a lot of different components that consistently trigger the release of dopamine over and over. This way we don't get bored and we want to continue playing. Now, I've identified 5 key elements that form this dopamine trail, which you can actually replicate in your own life. But just to clarify, I'll be using RPGs as an example as they resemble our lives the most. Not every single game has all the components I'm going to talk about, however they probably have at least a few. So let's take a look at those elements. Let's see how you can take control of the carrot and make your own daily activities more compelling.
Hey, would you like to learn to code by making computer games? My name's Ben and I've already taught over 300,000 people like you to learn to code by making games. And
The first key element is that you always have a clear objective to work towards and you know what you should be doing. Maybe you need to kill a dragon or rescue a princess. It doesn't matter. What's important is that you know in which direction you need to go. In real life, however, many of us don't really know what we're working towards. And while other people can set direction for us, it's not the same as when we set the path ourselves. Whether it's running a marathon, reaching a certain position at work, or writing your own book, having a clear goal you're working towards gives your actions purpose, otherwise your efforts just feel meaningless. But while killing a dragon might be the end goal, the game doesn't really make you focus on that too much. Instead, it's broken down into shorter sub-goals that lead up to that big moment. First you might help the king get his stolen jewelry back, then you help a wizard with his potion problem, etc. Whenever we finish something, no matter how mundane or small it might seem, we get rewarded with a sense of accomplishment. And the more we feel accomplished, the more we want to continue feeling that way. Essentially, this creates a loop where a tiny bit of success rewards us with dopamine and motivation to continue, which results into more success. Sure, we might have not killed the dragon yet, but we've still completed something that's leading in that direction. And that's all that matters, since as long as we continue doing that, eventually that big goal will be achieved. If you want to write a book, for example, your sub-goals might look something like this. Create a chapter outline, design a book cover, write 1000 words, edit 1 page. Of course, all of these can be broken down even further, but I think you get the general idea. The point is to kickstart the achievement loop and do something that will lead you towards the greater objective. Now, goals are also important because of the second key element that video games have, which is that progress is visible. Games make it very clear that you're improving by showing you that the experience bar is getting filled up. However, it never says you're 0.7% on your way to level 100. That would be demotivating. Instead, it shows you that you're 70% towards level 2. This visible progress gives you the necessary motivation to continue grinding forward. It's very easy to justify playing a little longer just so you can reach that next level before logging out. But the thing is that usually there are multiple progress bars getting filled up at the same time, so that by the time you reach level 3 in one skill, you're almost level 5 in another. And when you reach that level 5, you're now close to level 4 in the other one. So you're made aware that you're constantly close to completing something, which makes you want to keep on playing.
It's a fact. In the new economy, average people are becoming millionaires faster and easier than ever before. But how do they do it? According to the news, the whole world's falling apart. Well, that's the million-dollar question.
However, progress in real life is usually not that obvious, and you must make it visible yourself. I found that one of the best ways to do that is by simply tracking your daily activities. During each day, make sure to take note of all the things you've done that led you towards your goals. If you wrote 500 words for your book, write it down. If you ran 3 miles for your training, write it down. If you studied for 1 hour, write it down. And if you saved $10 by skipping Starbucks, write it down. This way you make your progress, or lack of it, actually visible somewhere, and you can clearly see if you're getting closer to your goals or sub-goals. And when you see that you're close to accomplishing one of them, you'll be more motivated to continue moving forward just so you can reach that milestone. Now, knowing that you're progressing is also important because of the third key element, which is that games reward you for your effort. There is often some sort of prize when you reach a certain level or complete a quest, and these rewards serve as an incentive to complete your tasks. Would you bother killing a dragon if you didn't get anything for it? Probably not. But because there is a prize, you keep completing those quests. Rewards are often one of the best motivators in real life as well, as when you anticipate getting one, your brain makes sure to release a lot of dopamine. In the back of your mind, you know that once you finish, let's say, studying for example, you get to enjoy a reward of your choice without any guilt, which can easily make you power through your task. But it has to be noted that in video games, the reward always rewards you back in some way. Once you defeat an enemy, you might get a stronger sword, which means you can now defeat bigger enemies. Essentially, the prize you receive makes the gameplay better for you, and it makes you want to continue playing. And this is something that a lot of us get wrong. When we eat healthy for 1 week straight and we go to the gym 5 times during that period, sure, we deserve a reward. But instead of having a reward that rewards us back, we usually do something that hurts the progress we've made. We reward ourselves by eating the whole cake while laying on the couch, which, if you think about it, isn't a smart move. Imagine completing a quest in the game and instead of gaining a level, you get penalized and your stats get worse. It doesn't happen. Yet in real life, we often do just that. We manage to save $500 and what do? We reward ourselves with a brand new phone, which we don't really need, or something of that nature. Instead, we should invest that money into an asset that will reward us back, that will allow us to make and save even more money in the future. Or for another example, if you like running, like me, you could reward your consistency with new running shoes. That kind of reward makes the runs easier and it reinforces the habit. So think about your own life situation and find a reward that rewards you back, or at least make sure it doesn't sabotage your progress like it usually does.
Open the door to the world of coding with SheCodes workshops.
But you might notice that the rewards in games aren't always the same. You don't always get a better sword, but instead you sometimes get a stronger armor, other times it's a new spell, etc. Which brings me to the fourth key game element, variety and novelty. Good games always have something new waiting for us. It could be new area unlocks, new enemies, or just new cosmetics. Our brains love variety, and as long as an activity has something novel to stimulate us, it remains attractive and satisfying. Imagine if instead of experiencing something new in the game, you would have to repeat the same level over and over. Most of us wouldn't find it fun. We would get bored of doing the same thing pretty quickly, and we would want to quit. And it's the same in our daily lives. If we want to stick to something long term, it helps if we can incorporate something new into the activity. If you have a job, think back on the first day you spent there. The job probably didn't feel boring, instead it was most likely interesting. There were so many new people to meet and a lot of things to learn. However, 1 year later, once all that novelty has faded, the job probably became boring and dull. That's because it became routine and now there's nothing new to experience. It's kinda like repeating the same level in a game for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. You don't really have anything to look forward to since you already know what to expect. While I do encourage having some sort of a routine in your life, it's also good if you have some variation within that routine. So if you usually do the same work all the time, see if it's possible to take on a different project to switch it up a little bit. Preferably something that you're not fully familiar with, so the challenge is novel. Now, while you might not be able to have a direct impact on the way you do things at your job, you can always incorporate some new aspects that are still related to it, which you do have control over. Like befriending someone at the office who you don't normally interact with, maybe reorganizing your desk, or just going to a different restaurant to eat your lunch. As you can see, it doesn't have to be a massive change, nor does it have to be permanent. The point is to just have a new experience every once in a while. You can also spice up your workout routine by trying out a new exercise, or if you're still studying for school, try to find a different study location. Just look for a way to make your days slightly different. Now, the fifth and final key element that games have is that they consistently challenge you. The human brain loves working on and overcoming obstacles, but the difficulty has to match your current skill level, otherwise you won't enjoy them, nor will you want to do them. In other words, the challenge must be neither too hard nor too easy.
I bet you were told that getting healthy and being in your best shape takes lots of effort, lots of hours down the gym, and even mixing all of your favorite foods for the rest of your life. Well, actually, it's an absolute myth. My job has been to help my clients achieve the best state of health they can possibly be in. I'm somebody who suffered from a health condition years ago and overcame it, and that's led me on this incredible journey where I'm helping people all around the world, all walks of life, to have the best life they can possibly live. All of these beliefs that we have about health and fitness are actually things that we acquire as we grow up, and usually in the first few years of our life. And these negative limiting beliefs can hold us back from the truth. And the truth is that actually, if you just have the right strategy and a simple plan, you can get the best states of health and fitness in a very short period of time. That's why I've created this 7-day health restart challenge, which is going to help you get really good lifestyle habits and also use our very simple and very effective Soma breath techniques, where just by breathing in a certain way you can actually start to get really healthy, get lots of energy and be at your best every single day. So if you want to get involved and actually make 2021 the best year ever, then you know what to do. See you on the inside.
When you start at level 1, you don't go fighting the biggest and the baddest boss right away. You would get defeated every time, as it would be too difficult for your skill level. And because it would be too hard, you wouldn't want to continue playing. This is why games set you up against easier challenges first, those that you're able to actually overcome. But once you get better at the game, the difficulty also ramps up. Otherwise, if you were to improve but the challenge stayed the same, you wouldn't want to continue playing. There is no fun if you're able to just effortlessly demolish everything in your way. You would quickly get bored because the game would be too easy. The challenge has to feel at least semi-difficult so that when you overcome it, you can actually feel proud about it and get rewarded by that sweet, sweet dopamine. But in real life, we are only rarely faced with optimal challenges. Instead, most of the time, we're either overwhelmed or bored by them. If something feels overwhelming and you can't bring yourself to do it, chances are that it's above your current skill level. You need to take a step back and start slow at the beginning. Break that big task down into more manageable pieces. Then you should tackle those pieces individually and focus on the easiest one first. This helps bring the difficulty down and get the momentum going at the same time. If something feels too easy, you must increase the challenge. Ideally, you would want to skip the easy tasks, but sometimes they just have to get done. Personally, I increase their difficulty by imposing time limits on them. I give myself a time frame and try to do the task before the time runs out. This forces me to find a way to be more efficient, which also helps me get through it faster in the future. I'm still doing the same boring activity, but the time pressure ramps up the difficulty and makes it more fun. So try to match the difficulty to your skill level. You will find that whenever you're able to do so, you will be more engaged and the activity will be more compelling. By now, you probably have a much better understanding about what makes video games so addictive. And you might notice that if those elements are not present, the game doesn't really pull us in as much. Of course, there can also be other factors that make games irresistible, not just the 5 I've described. One, for example, could be the social aspect that provides a sense of community and competition. Another one might be cool background music that we enjoy. Or the game could provide us with feelings of autonomy and a sense of control. However, I didn't want to focus on every single factor because I wanted to prioritize the most prevalent ones found in RPGs, since those games resemble our lives the most. Now, it also has to be noted that video games apply all those elements at an extremely rapid rate, making the release of dopamine very frequent. So frequent, in fact, that our daily activities aren't actually able to match it. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't replicate the dopamine trail. In fact, it's even more important that you implement it, otherwise you'll just get pulled towards wherever the most dopamine is. So make sure to apply those 5 elements to the areas of your life that you find most important. This will allow you to take control of the carrot and you'll be able to do whatever you set out to do. If you made it this far into the video, let me just say that you're awesome. And I would highly appreciate it if you would gently tap that like button below the video. This shows the YouTube algorithm that ideas like these are worth spreading and it shows my content to more people, which means more people can benefit from it and improve their lives. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope I made you better than yesterday.
Do you accept this quest? Your job is to apply all 5 elements to one daily activity.
Yes, I accept it.
Then I wish you the best of luck on your journey, hero.
So that one was kind of intense. Really, both of those videos were very, the universe really works in such ways that it gets us like where we need to be as long as we let it go. And so I feel like these are 2 things that I've needed to hear, whether I knew them already or needed the reminder. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it as well, because I feel like that was like a fantastic way of just making it easier for us to work on being better people. And it looks like the oh, hey geeky girl, hey, it looks like the title of their profile is better than yesterday, so I really kind of just appreciate how they are very it's very like willing, I guess. So yeah, so hello geeky girl Sarah, how are you feeling? Happy Saturday. Hello Sandra, how are you feeling? Happy Saturday. Welcome you guys. Jailer, I agree. Very good messages. Freaking ads. Mossy, I'm glad you're feeling better. Welcome, Fern. Hello, hello, hello. How are you feeling today? Happy Saturday. Welcome, welcome. That was a very boring chapter in my life for half of the year. I'm moving on to a new chapter. Yes! And it's not even that you're moving on to you're leveling up. You just had your level of living somewhere else for half a year where you had many levels inside and many levels inside of those. You know, it's just, if we treat it like the most intricate game, we think game people keep getting better at the way they're making these stories, but do you see where I'm going with it, kind of? It's just if you think of it that way, we can kind of just keep leveling up. And that's one of my favorite cards. With every challenge you meet, you gain experience, XP. Every day you are leveling up. I'm fine, late moving today. In theory, officially on vacation as of today. Well, congrats, happy vacation. You get vacation post-holidays? I almost feel like that low-key would almost be better for some reason, because it's the holidays are so much that you need a break after the holidays. Just got out of work, trying to unwind. What do you do, Fern? It's okay if you don't want to share. Where are you guys all checking in from today? I hope work went well. It is a Saturday morning for me. I have had kind of a rough few days, a kind of rough week, maybe, but then when you continue to think about it, then you're like, well, no, it's really been a rough whatever. Wow, this girl has no pants on. There is her coat goes to the top of her thighs, and she's not wearing pants, and there is snow on the ground. Yes, I'm on level blank in my life. Yes, and I hope you mean blank by you don't know what level, but rather blank meaning fill in the blank. Because if you're feeling like you don't know what level, or it's a blank level, Maisha, that's okay. Maybe that's part of it. And then the Art Hub says, psst. Psst. Thank you guys for being here. I kind of had a rough start to my morning. Was worried about streaming because I was worried about getting upset again, and I got upset yesterday, and I just don't want to be bringing that energy because I know that you guys come for the energy. However, I also recognize that yes, you appreciate the vulnerability. So, head of logistics for ABM Corp, but I'm a photographer and videographer on the side. Been feeling uninspired. So Fern, the first thing I'm going to tell you is what I learned this summer. Okay, so I was feeling really uninspired. It's week, month, whatever of the pandemic, and I posted on Facebook because I was like, it has been several days since I have now felt inspired, and I'm trying to be kind to myself. I recognize that, yes, I can take, so when I have a bad day, someone's like, oh, well, it's always okay to, take a day to yourself. And I'm like, okay, but this is the 5th bad day in a row. Are you saying it's okay to take 5 bad days in a row? Well, in reality, sometimes yes, but that's not really what we're allowed to do. Anyway, I posted, and I was just like, I'm feeling really uninspired. What do you guys do to get you to be feeling better? And someone commented and they said, Jen, if you never accomplish another thing again in your life, I still think you're a great person. So I'm going to tell you that, Fern, and then we can talk about what that sounds like. If you never accomplish anything ever again, whether you're feeling uninspired, just any if you never make anything ever again, if you never do something again, if you never accomplish anything ever again, I still think that you are a great person. How does that make you feel? Think about it. Like, why wouldn't you be a great person if you never accomplished anything ever again? Or have never accomplished anything, which is likely untrue. Think about it. Do you think you would be a wonderful person if you never accomplished anything ever again? Because I feel like at this rate, waking up is an accomplishment. We're better than yesterday. We continue to wake up after bad day. We've had this many bad days and we're still waking up. So it's not like, well, I woke up yesterday, that's the same No, it's not, because you just added another day onto the number of days that you woke. Like you climb a step every single day that you wake up. Don't think that you're on a level when you're waking up. Like, no, all I do is wake up. No, you are still, like, you are going through your life every single day that you wake up, whether you accomplish something or not. Like, physically, I guess. You know? That really hit me hard. And then I just got pissed because I was like, wow, I love how society doesn't allow us to live like humans. And that's like a completely other story and rant. So know that if you feel like there is nothing to you, you have nothing to give, your existence is wonderful, and you being here is an accomplishment. I feel like someone should write this timestamp down for me. Because I know that I need to slow down. I noticed that there's just good enough lighting that you guys can really see how bad this is. Thanks, Peace Dog. Of course you would be here. That's how the universe works. You would have heard that. And no, that was my only crisis stabilization in 48 hours. However, it has been a bad week. And it's funny to think because I feel like, well, the last week was also bad, but I feel like there were a couple good days where we were like, wow, the past few days were kind of bad, but I'm feeling good. And then we kind of just like slid into like, I feel like another just kind of bad patch. I feel like all of the names I'm looking at here, I feel like completely, right, that's what I was referring to, Peace Dog. You know, so, okay, so I'm gonna scroll back up and, like, actually address the chat, because, like, that was something that I feel like the energy in me, and maybe that's the best way that I can get through how I'm feeling right now. I had to say it out loud, and it's something that everyone needs to hear, because I think I needed to say it out loud for myself. Okay, so you're amazing. Thank you, Luke. You're amazing, obviously. I just got the idea, working on the actual level, but I can use it. Mossy says, rough week for me, homie. I can't wait for this to get better. Same here, but you know what? I think, and again, this is going to be like almost another timestamp or a clip or something. Get ready, because I think we can't keep, we have to stop waiting. You can't wait for this day to get this to get better. I can't wait for it either, but rather I'm content knowing that I'm able to manage the emotions. I'm content knowing, I'm comfortable content. I can still feel like, you know, like I am here knowing that like these feelings will pass. And so I can take peace in that. So with like the language, Mossy, that was like one of my quotes this in my new fun calendar, you know, in the movies when they tell time by pulling the days off the calendar. Retrain your brain one word at a time. We can determine our emotions by steering our thoughts. We can shape those thoughts by being conscious of and diligent about our words and the kind of language that we engage in. So Mossy, I'm not calling you out for this, but rather I'm reading and seeing that you said, I can't wait. Because I agree, I can't wait either. But will you practice with me in thinking, man, things are bad, but I know they're going to get better? I'm ready for them to get better, maybe even. I feel like even ready is less energy towards the anticipation than wait. Waiting, I feel like you're putting a lot more energy into than being ready for it. Okay, so back to chat. That's why I haven't streamed this week. After that bad job and the stress of aging up, after my birthday, I felt I needed some me time. Like you said, Fern, so I can give the energy. Luke says that I'm human and I'm allowed to be human. Yup. Sandra says the accomplishments are personal wins. It doesn't set what character and what person you are. Exactly. Catherine says you're such a great person and so are you, Catherine. Luke says, you see, Jen, you take the words out of my mouth. My says, I'm glad everyone is struggling. It makes me feel better not being alone. Is that wrong? No, that is why, this is why I'm here. And that's also why I streamed the football games, is because I didn't want to feel alone while watching the football games. Can't do that anymore, but this is why I'm here, because I know that I have full control over who can come and fill my cup. But I'm opening my doors to stuff that I really didn't have access to before, maybe. Jay says, I got some experience in board chapter of my life. I learned how to be alone. I think we all did in 2020. I'm just that human who can't be alone. I need people around me all the time. Same. But because I haven't had that opportunity, I just found a way to be with people here on Twitch. Yes. Fern says, I feel you. Yeah, the way we all are thinking about reaching certain goals instead of being happy with who you are. In that same sense of waiting for time, waiting for yourself to improve, recognize that you're improving because you're aware of your attempts at improving. Just now be aware that you might not be making there are more mindful steps that you can be making. I don't have any mods in here, but I hope you guys are sticking with me. Sandra says, it isn't wrong. It is important to know others are not well too, because we can share it and we can empower each other and just be real and honest. And yeah, so Peace Dog, you said 2 to 3 per month and 4 in the past. So I actually have not had, I'm not involved with the people who throw me into crises in the one that I experienced the one that we experienced the other night was the first one I've had in months. And we can talk about that in a bit. My says relief. I like Self-Care Saturday. Great topic. Thanks, Peace Dog. I was feeling some type of way this morning, and I felt like this was the one to do. Bills Beats, hello, good morning. How are you feeling? Happy Saturday. Fern says, I had a great moment of clarity last week. I went for a run during a cloudy day. Something about the smells and feelings made me feel happy that I can experience it. Good, I'm glad. You appreciated what was occurring despite maybe your idea that it doesn't make you happy. Like, you were like, I'm gonna try this anyway. Kind of like how I feel when I don't really like hot showers. But sometimes I do it, and I think maybe it grounds me. It reminds me that there's more to what's happening right now. That was a good one. I almost didn't let it come out because I'm already excited about what I said. When you share in a safe place, you can feel the struggle less heavy. It is uplifting. Thanks, Sandra. That's a great way to put it. That's what it is. In other spaces, I have everyone is like, I don't want it here. Stop depressing me. So yes, such a relief. I'm ready for them to get better. I'm just so stressed about how I'm feeling, and I don't know how to deal with these emotions. It's hard. I hear you, Mossy. I hear you. Just keep reading those dailies because they're true, and then look for the energy that helps you be at peace with what you're experiencing and knowing that it's going to pass. Let me see if one of those cards is in here. I saved a couple of the cards out of the box because I was like, man, these hit me extra hard. And these are the author of the journal that you got. Okay, yep, I saved it. So I picked 3, right? One of these is the leveling up one. This is the other one. Sometimes it feels like the horrible feeling will never end. It's important to hold on and wait it out because it never lasts. That's hard to hear, but I guess the best you can do is maybe look at that little animal, maybe look at your dog, pet the dog, and let yourself consume that. Let yourself relax, or find yourself something to keep you occupied because you're still frustrated, because that happens too, and I get it. Sorry, I really need to not jerry-rig everything I own, but hey, we do what we do. Okay. I have to lurk a bit, but wanted to stop in and let you know. I appreciate that piece, dog, and no, you had fantastic communication there. I was not feeling any type of way on my side. I hope that you're hearing my response, despite you going on lurk. But no, nope, you were great, and I appreciate you clarifying either way. My mind says, facts, accepting alone time and making the most of it. Cool, I'm with you. Being alone sometimes is a way to recharge those batteries. That is what I learned in Twitch jail, which will be 1 week in a couple of hours, that I had to go into Twitch jail for 48 hours without my choice. The universe said, no, you stop, you break. And I recharged. I was very refreshed. Mossy, I saw you said I just feel like crying. Can you see the bags under my eyes? I was crying on Discord with Catherine earlier. I cried on stream yesterday. I cried even harder yesterday afternoon. But Mossy, if you feel like crying, can you let them out? Can you let them out while you're listening? Even if you want? Because I'm trying to embrace the energy that I feel like I release when they come out. That's why I got through when I cried on stream yesterday morning, because everyone else is concerned, which is great, and I appreciate that. However, crying, I've noticed, is just very much the way. I was watching a Netflix thing. On Netflix, there's a new show that tells us the history of curse words. And it's funny because I don't curse, but it was explaining how, with the F word or something, screaming louder does help relieve the pain in some way. I can't remember exactly what it is. And so recognize that you're releasing energy if you need to cry. So don't try to swallow it back if it comes, but don't force it if you aren't there. What I'm also noticing is that when I cried in the morning yesterday, I was upset, or I wasn't upset. The cries came out because I was feeling all of the feelings. I was feeling empowered, optimistic, frustrated, embarrassed, appreciative, though, and so I let it keep going. Yesterday afternoon, I got into an argument with someone, and so it was one of those cries. When I was trying to calm down, but the tears were doing more of the fall down without actively crying, I was I'm going to let myself keep crying if it's coming, because I feel like I didn't cry enough earlier today, and so now is my chance to do so. Granted, I went on to go ahead and cry this morning for no reason, but good reason, but I'm a highly sensitive person. I have so many highly sensitive person videos on my playlist. So just I'm not telling you to let it happen, but try letting it happen if you want. That's why I talk about it out loud. I'm trying to normalize crying. I'm trying to normalize things. I'm also trying to normalize sometimes people's anger for those who are able to come out of their anger and talk through it and communicate, because I understand that crying isn't the only way that we are. Like, crying is a human response the same way that anger is a human response because of defense. So cry if you need to. Just let it out. We all need a good cry. Yeah, I used to throw a lot of friend parties, and by the end of the weekend, my battery was depleted, and I needed to be alone afterwards to recharge myself and be there for myself. Yes. I'm going to watch Riding in Cars with Boys, and I know I will fulfill cry in the end, and dad and daughter will make peace. Me and my dad are not on good terms for over a decade, and that, anyway, I never publicly admit, not even my husband knows. I want to make peace. Now I cry. Hugs, Sandra, hugs, because I appreciate you sharing. I appreciate you being aware. And it just makes me happy to know that you are seeking something that you are aware might make you cry, but recognize that, like, that is something that might help you, basically. It's kind of interesting almost how we don't, and okay, this is going to sound weird, so don't take this as me saying it. I'm just, like, talking out loud. I haven't really thought about this before, kind of. But, like, seeking something that will make you cry, if you're like, I am upset, I feel it in my face, I need something to get me to let it out, I need something to, like, let it fall, whether actively or just, like, without me even noticing, is that a thing? And if it is, why don't we talk more about that? Because I know that we often talk about trying to avoid things that bring us down, avoiding sad things, but I'm talking about like Marley and Me type of make you cry, not the stuff that they suggest, like, you know, try not to listen to angry music if you're not in a good mood type of thing. Hugs for everyone. Shoot, Blue Moon Bun, I missed it. Okay, you typed it anyway. Perfect, thank you. Blue Moon Bun says, question, how does the saying, be yourself, account when you feel like there's two of you? Like in my case, I'm naturally very outgoing and excited to see new people online, but in real life, I really only have one person I talk to during school, and I'm naturally a nervous wreck to talk to anyone I or my friends don't know and can't start a conversation. So how do I be myself? Do you have interest in making friends with those around you? Like, are you afraid of trying to integrate yourself, or are you comfortable with those relationships that you have online enough to where you feel loved and you don't feel the need to have 5 best friends, knowing that you have support elsewhere? This is a really weird statement to ask, but I feel like it would have made me reflect at your age, literally, if I could know that the same way that it's like, oh, well, you have your family, and it's like, but it's like, you do have friends, like, elsewhere. Like, just think about how, like, oh, I moved here and all my friends are from somewhere else. Does that make sense, Blue Moon Bun, or to anyone else? Blue Moon Bun is younger, so for the perspective. Hugs, Sandra. I'm taking care of me, my doggo, and my hubs. I can't push my dad into making peace. Just hugs. Just hugs, Sandra. I've spent a decade looking for my real father and mother, but I feel like I don't need their acceptance to feel better about myself. Good, Fern, I'm glad. Jay says, I haven't seen my dad since 7 years. He's living in Germany with his other family. I hope once I will talk to him. Hugs, Jalen, I hear you. This is why we're here, you guys. These are universe things. I'm gonna share once we get through this moment that we're having, and I'm loving it. So I'm gonna completely continue engaging in what we're talking about. I'm gonna share this video that OG shared with me when I went to Twitch jail, and he was trying to help me, you know, not be stopped by the barrier in front of me.
Well, like,
Frick. Okay. Carissa says, I cry at everything. I felt really sad for a while, and literally the pure plot and happy ending of Princess Diaries made me bawl happy tears because it was empowering and I just felt better. That's what I mean, Marley and me type thing. Okay, yeah, exactly. Sandra says, Blue Moon Bun, I'm in very similar shape, and to be honest, I know it is because I am overfed by fake and toxic people. I just can't take anymore. I even distance myself from my own family and my own in-laws. Sandra, I am going through this right now. Right now. Hugs. We're here. Immortal Logic, hello, happy Saturday. How are you feeling, friend? I am well despite the struggles of emotions. Boom Boom Bun says, I don't really want to talk to people around me. I think it's because of trust issues, but I'm not sure myself. Boom Boom Bun, I think that instead of going through the turds that I went through and feeling like I needed to have friends, I think I almost got to a point where I was like, who needs the friends that are at this middle school? My online friends are way cooler than this. So I'm telling you now that, like, I want to give you permission, as someone who over 10 years ago wanted to know that I was allowed to have my online friends as like my primary source of support. I'm telling you now, and I'm sorry for anyone who really disagrees, I guess, at this point, but if anything, quarantine has almost enabled the belief that I've had for a while. So yeah, because there's like, too many people have told me that there is a lack of toxicity in those they have found on Twitch. /slinging slasher / you have control over those toxic people in your life. If you get those toxic people in real life and you're like, shit, they're toxic, let me back away, they've still got all that. They can feel every type of way and they can let other people know it. And then you just feel some type of way about it, whether they're doing it or not. So Sandra, yes, I am officially a B word. I am officially being said that, like, I'm like turning against my family, like I don't love people because of the way that I am being. And it was the realization this summer that, like, I have to protect my own energy. I will repeat that without talking like that. I have to protect my own energy. So Blue Moon Bun, I'm giving you permission. I don't know if that's enough. But I hear you. 50,000%. Mossy says, I feel like I'm two different people too. I feel like there is a side with my smoking addiction and the real me. Interesting, Mossy. Well, I'm excited for you to get to explore, despite how nerve-wracking it will be. Because if we're uncomfortable, it means we're learning. It means we're growing. If we're comfortable, we're just chilling. So shout out to you for trying to get better. Good morning, #singing slasher. My says, I recently went through the separation of negative people and I'm sort of on the other side. I had to accept being alone and prefer to free myself if it's leading to more time self-love. Yep. Sandra says, wishing you to make it. It must be hard. My parents live in the same street, second house from us. I can see them passing, but I am in touch with my mom. Not ideal, but we can talk if one of us, most of the time me, but passing my dad, not even saying hi. Makes me want to yell at him. Absolutely. Hugs, Sandra, hugs. You can choose your own family. That workbook you ordered has a section on choosing your own family. Specifically. That's why it's great. Fern says, I have way better conversations here on Twitch than I do around me. Exactly. Hash says, you guys, Twitch are my only friends at this point. I mean, same. Hugs, Illis, thanks for lurking. Thanks, Ryan. Hello. Hugs. How are you feeling? Good stream, friend. I was happy to see you this morning. I was lucky that I was raised by my older brother, who's 11 years older than me, so I have a male upbringing. I'm so sorry to people who get yeah, absolutely, Jay. Thanks for sharing that. That's a good perspective, and I appreciate that you acknowledge that. Immortal Logic says, I have a question. Why do toxic people enjoy bullying innocent people and spoiling other people's lives? A lack of emotional intelligence. A lack of emotional intelligence to be able to acknowledge where they're at and acknowledge where they need to grow. How they need to handle what they're perceiving, what choices they're making. Because I can get mad at all the people, but people are the way that they are. I feel like there's probably like more research, but like that's where I'm coming from, just like for my answer to that, like that right there. I wish I could respond better, but my brain's just whirling with all this new information. You're fine, Blue Moon Bun. You take it. You go pet Rainbow, even if it's like 3 a.m. Hash says, I'm most likely deleting Facebook today. You know what? I became a B word and removed everyone instead. Yeah, Mossy, thank you for using that. That makes me... If you ever want to make me smile, send what Mossy sent. Well, but you might have to download the extension. Immortal Logic says, I deleted it years ago. Wild, hello, friend. How are you feeling? Hugs. Drama and personal information leaks was my concern. Share. Lack of empathy. You're welcome, Immortal Logic. My says, don't worry, Blue Moon Bun. Just inhale it. Don't worry about the words. Just inhale it. Allow yourself to be you. Take a deep breath and say, cool, I can continue being who I am right now. And I don't have to make friends with the people in real life. Because what if they all end up being toxic? Now, that's not to say, like, actively avoid relationships. Like follow the energy the best you can. But I have very much so learned that majority of the people that I grew up around were being raised, not raised poorly, but like the mindset of the small town culture that we have, we just were all we are so messed up. There's going to be so much information. I'm so excited to like read about it just because I don't understand it, but it's there. It's not about acceptance in my case. It's just complicated due to many problems from past, and I didn't deserve being treated like an outcast, black sheep of the family. Trust me, all I have is my work and some of the past knowledge from my mom. I hear you, Sandra. They could have also had a bad childhood and don't know how to take it, so they take it out on others. Right, Blue Moon Bun? Exactly. Oh, I thought Thunder was here, Wild. You had me messed up. So I guess this is where depression derives from. Immortal Logic, were you here when I read the article about depression? Because yes, in a way, and kind of. However, this almost, based on the article that I read, her choice to ignore people in real life is kind of depression, but hopefully can potentially cause more of a peace with not needing the people around her, and she can just seem quiet. No worries, Immortal Logic. This was definitely a few days ago that I shared this article, but this article, guys, feel free to click it. I'm not going to read through it again right now because I've read through it a few times on stream, but basically, to summarize, it's a new theory suggesting that depression almost isn't even a disorder so much as it is symptoms of your body doing the unconscious fight, flight, immobilize. You are immobilizing, the symptoms of immobilizing, like the rabbit in a fox's mouth who goes limp to not feel it as much. That emotional padding that we have when we go through a traumatic experience, because we know that we can't remember some of these things. We won't be able to fathom remembering some of these things. That is immobilization. And so it suggests that like the feelings of and symptoms of depression kind of sit on top of that. And then if you are never able to be then removed from that situation, the immobilization and those, like, you just kind of become such. Thank you, Immortal Logic. I appreciate it. It's very fascinating, so I hope you enjoy it. Wild, I appreciate your emotes. Terrible neck pain. Why? What did you do? Guys, we can be a bunch of black sheep, and then guess what? It's just a bunch of black sheep. Who's the abnormal one? Stickers! Toxic and fake people are like fixed. Nobody likes them, but they are still here. Oh, Jay, hugs. Contingency, hello. How are you feeling today? Wow, that makes a lot of sense. Right, Fern? That was like mind-blowing for me. I was like, okay, this makes absolute sense, because fight or flight is anxiety. So if we're gonna like get depressed, if we're gonna put our head down to get through some kind of trauma, that's our body responding to help us get through it. Who wants to normal, right? I'm not sure, Wild. I think it translated a little bit different. This is partly why I'm not streaming right now, because I've kind of isolated myself from people seeing me. Immortal Logic, I feel like that's okay as long as you feel like you're doing what you need to be growing, maybe. And so with all of this, I feel like a lot of this conversation that I'm having today, I'm doing really well because I needed to hear it myself very, very much. I'm going to hydrate, but I really want to play this video because OG sent me, It's Young OG sent me this video, right after I got, suspended from Twitch. And because I was like, I still really, really want to go live. Hi, Dr. Deus. I'm just about to play a video. And it talked about how, because I wanted to go on YouTube and I wanted to go live on YouTube, but I was like, is that weird? Blah, blah, blah. And then I went and found some live streams on YouTube to watch. And they were talking about feeling words. And I'm like, oh, gee, are you seeing this? Like, I sent him the link. And he responded with this video that was just very like, the universe is doing things. And so I'm like, I'm very hype on the universe right now. Dr. Deus, how are you feeling? Hello, Geek Foolish. How are you feeling? Happy Saturday, friends. Be careful with videos. Hush, Immortal Logic. You're in tune and following with what your spirit is telling you. Leeches. Yeah, maybe. That would make sense. Good job, Wild. Okay, video.
Success loves speed. The universe is always watching you. Your commitment level, while the energies are moving, always understand that energy loves momentum. The biggest problem is a lot of people, they are indecisive. They see multiple paths. It's like seeing multiple streams of energy flowing. And in between the two streams, they're observing. They're thinking, which way shall I go? Which way shall I go? But they're not committing. That's why they can't ride the wave. But not just not riding the wave, they end up staying stagnant because they miss the wave. The universe gives you signs. Of course they do. They give you signs in the form of energy portals. And that energy portal, when it arrives, it's undeniable. You feel it. It's this feeling, it's an energy in motion. It's a big emotional drive towards something. It's your calling. Many people don't listen to the heart. They don't take action. Why? Because they're in two minds. What we're saying here is, What if we remove the two minds and the two paths? Instead, show your commitment, your decisiveness. Follow your heart and flow with that intuition. Very often we come across an opportunity, we take that step forward, and later on that mind kicks in again and starts pulling us back, and we think maybe we've made the wrong decision. But what if I was to say there is no wrong decision? My mentor used to always say, it's not about making the right decisions in life. It's about your ability to make a decision and make that decision the right decision. The first thing is energy loves attention. So when energy is there, if you don't give it attention, the opportunity is going to go to somebody else. But the second thing is, once you give it the attention and you're riding the wave, it's very important to lock the doors behind you. Don't allow your mind to take you out of the game. Keep going, because success loves speed and energy loves momentum. Some people often question and say, but how do I know? How do I know that that's going to take me to the destiny? How do I know that that's the right destination? And I say, who are you not to trust? If there is something so big that we can call God or the universe that created you, me, and everything around us, it has such magical powers, then what have you to be afraid of?
Powerful. 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 Fern, glad to have been here this morning. Been working all night. I hope you have a good day. Thank you for all you do. I hope to catch a stream with you soon. Good night, good morning. Be luminous, y'all. Thanks, Fern, for being here. I really, really, really appreciate it. Let me scroll up. So, Geek Foolish says, wait, did you preface that story with right before you got suspended from Twitch? And yes, tics makes sense. I have absolutely felt lonely, despite not being alone. And I've like streamed the Iowa State football games, like several of them, but this last one was a bowl game, so I think they were like a little bit more antsy about it. But it was the most important break that I needed because my hands were tied. I couldn't be on Twitch. Hey, Triz! Sorry, that was really loud. Triz, hello, good morning, happy Saturday, how are you feeling? Or good afternoon. And Dally, hello, how are you feeling? I am so excited for you. You start work on Monday. Congrats. I'm liking this channel, so educational. You're drawing me closer. Keep it up. Thanks, Immortal Logic. I really appreciate it. During my suspension was when I really learned my value, or rather it hit. I was able to get past that block that Triz was kind of talking about the other day, that like you can't internalize it completely. Like it's not bringing me to tears the way it shocks other people. Like it's like I feel like, no, this doesn't fit right. And not being able to be on Twitch, having people wonder about me, having people noticeably like wish I was there, because not for using me, but just because what I was doing was a benefit. And it really, like, I just very much have felt valued since last weekend, basically. There's a lot of good information out there. We just have to search for it. Exactly, Triz. Yes. Catherine, welcome back. Triz. Oh, thanks for lurking, my. Thanks for lurking, Bark. So, guys, I don't know who I was talking to, but I'm gonna give you guys potentially one of the next keys to unlock another door of your mindfulness, okay? The other day, and I hope I find whoever told me this, but the other day someone said, the think of my anxious thoughts as the Kool-Aid Man, barging in and saying, "Oh yeah," just to distract me. That way I can positively acknowledge that these thoughts are barging in and they are not relevant to what is happening right now. Thanks for those bits, Triz. I don't know if that was for that thought or if those were just for the bits, but thank you. Because I was like, whoa, hold on, wait a minute. So you're telling me that ego voice that comes into my head, if I just like now try to like throw on Kool-Aid Man clothes on him, that I can like straight up like laugh at my brain almost for being like, why are you trying to get in here? That's a funny way to think of it. Right, Blue Moon Bun? What are we learning about? Just got home from grabbing some groceries and a coffee for Mike. We just watched a Universe video, but we watched a couple of videos that I should link those in the Discord about Cookie Jar. So our achievement jar that I've been doing. If anyone else started, we watched a video on essentially like a cookie jar, and so it's like essentially, and it talked about not just like physical productive accomplishments, but also like putting in like mental health accomplishments in that. And then again, like when you're just feeling down, like pull something out and be like, you did this. So we did that, and then we were talking, I don't even remember what we were talking about, but I wrote a timestamp down. If someone else wants to summarize for those who just came back, whether it's Blue Moon Bun or who else was in here? Carissa, if you've heard much of it and still here. Peace Dog, I know you're lurking now. Fern just left. Sandra maybe would be a good one. Thank you. Yeah, all good here too. Just enjoying listening to my knowledge. Thank you. Hopefully I can do more eventually as far as supporting. Triz, do what works for you, please. Make it a soda bottle and shake it up and then open the lid to blast it away. You're funny. That's a great idea for reflection. Sounds good, Bark. Yeah, Carissa, the cookie jar, I think. Blue Moon Bunny said, I would, but my brain's quite tired. You would what? You would blast it away with the soda bottle? Because you don't have to have energy to... You don't have to blow the soda bottle. Like, you could really just, like, laugh at him and be like, what are you doing here? Like, why is the Kool-Aid Man here? Why are these silly thoughts here right now? This is silly. Oh, Bark for Mental Health came in and asked what we were learning about, and I tried my best to summarize, but I know that there were some intense pieces that I'm not remembering so much. Because we talked about like being comfortable with being alone with yourself. We were talking about like being okay with not engaging people in real life. I went to rehab, only lasted a day because I was getting bullied, but you would write all your apologies and mistakes on paper and then start it on fire and let it go into the sky, or write your bad thoughts on paper. Yeah, so actually Visionary Steve-O's No Limits album that he released on his 1-year release anniversary. It's called No Limits, based off of the idea, like, he burned his limited beliefs paper, meaning he wrote all of his limiting beliefs, all of the things that I believe about myself that are limiting me from my potential. And so that just, like, that kind of reminded me of that, because it seems like similar to that, what you were talking about, Bark, whether it's apologies, mistakes, or your limiting beliefs. That's a great idea. And I really wish and should try to do that more. Maybe sometime I'll do a night stream like on my phone and we could like go outside and do it. Someone set me up to do that because I want to do it. I don't know when, but someone encourage and remind and maybe draw it up for me so that I'm like, yeah, I did. That makes, yeah, cool. I'll do that. I don't know. Anyway, I am grateful it is Saturday. Same here. Make it a good day. Facts. Aw, you are too kind. Thank you. I will try. My counselor sent me to rehab for cannabis. New counselor. Of course, everyone that was recovering from coke, heroin, etc. was giving me a hard time saying I didn't need to be there, so I hitchhiked home. Luke, you're still here. Thank you. I appreciate that. And so is everyone in here. Agreed. So I'm told, who in here enjoys crystals, by the way? Blue Moon Bun, I'm almost a little bit concerned for you. 8, 11, 10, 9, 8. So 1, 2, 3. Is it 4 a.m., Blue Moon Bun? Catherine says, me. Maybe? Says Blue Moon Bun. Okay, you're fine because I hope that you maybe don't feel comfortable now, but have enough words and information and thoughts in your head that you like I'm not calling you out for it so much as like saying that I hope that you recognize that yes, you stayed up this late now, but appreciate what information that you got from it and say I really need to make sure that I think about the stuff that Jen said because I chose to stay up this late. What do you think about that? Hey guys, my battery's dying, so I gotta go. Thanks for some self-searching and self-care. Thanks, Sandra, for being here. I appreciate you. Be safe, my friend. Crystals, like, I don't know because I don't have any, but like, you know, when people talk about like the crystals and stuff. The reason I'm bringing it up is because Kima told me she always watches this lady who does crystal auctions on Instagram. And there's one today at 1 p.m. my time. My friend gifted me a white crystal. I forget what it was for, but I was supposed to keep it in my pocket and rub it. Trish says, I'm kind of up in the air. The mind is a powerful thing. Behavioral cognitive therapy. Yeah. There's mixed responses. Some say crystals can be evil and some say they're amazing, healthy tools. So what I understand, Triz, because that's exactly why I haven't gone out and just gotten what I knew that I'm told, what I was recommended, because one time I heard Maki say that they can bite. I brought that up with her and Kima, and they kind of explained that I think that's almost something that you aren't going to find unless you are literally walking and buying what you think is pretty. So if you maybe had someone like read your birth chart, and there's definitely people in my Discord who enjoy doing that, they would be able to help find maybe like some crystal recommendations, because that's essentially what happened for me. Someone's like, oh, you sound like, oh yeah, you're like this. They recommended like clear quartz for me because of the balance, but I don't know if that's something I could tell you to get, because it like, you know, but I think that there isn't reason to not have them. I think you just have to do it right. But that is why I have refrained from doing it. However, I'm literally bringing it up now because put the sticky note in front of me because Kima's been watching this lady every weekend and she's doing another one today. So 2 p.m. Triz's time, if you even wanted to observe. Well, it was 5 a.m. the last 2 nights, so the fact that I'm tired while it's still 4 makes me happy. Okay, Blue Moon Bun, well, do you want to maybe drift off to sleep? Maybe close this and be like, I'm happy that I learned a lot tonight. I'm feeling tired. Maybe I should just shut my laptop and see if I can fall asleep. There's lots of words in my head, but let me just try to breathe because I'm happy I learned a lot and I want to sleep on it. I was like really in it in my head right there. I was like trying to put myself there, see like what can I tell myself? Cool, Triz. Cool. Great. Grand. Good. That makes me happy. So I was also like listening to music and coloring, or rather I was showing mental health videos and coloring. That's what I was planning on doing. Okay, Blue Moon Bun. Well, sleep well, my friend. You read my mind. I'm feeling some type of way today, you guys. Yeah. I'm cool. We're good. I'm happy. I'm ready for it. Like, it's been not a good week, but okay, so right, Triz. It's been not a good week. I think it's been an exhausting week. You might have had a good week, though. It felt like you maybe did, but it feels like it's been kind of a rough few days again, despite having a good few days prior, and so I've just been trying really hard to like manage the upset, I guess, that I've been feeling, because I know that it will pass. I was upset yesterday morning. Well, I wasn't upset during stream, but I cried during stream, and then I was upset yesterday afternoon, and then I was upset this morning, but like I am noticing now and trying to put energy into the acknowledgement and understanding that like when I cry, that's cool. I'm almost like on a roll after I cry in certain instances. If I'm not like stuck in my bed after I cry, I'm almost like I come out of it because I'm like, nah, I'm standing here. We're not doing this right now. And I just let out a ton of like maybe dark cloudy. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm like dumping out some, like doing the like sewage a little bit. I let out some of the sewage and stuff like when I cry. Yep, that's how we'll say it. Because Shouting Tom yesterday while I cried on stream said, crying is like emotional farting. Everyone does it. And sometimes we have to let it out. We can't keep it in. You will get hurt. Because I have gone to the hospital because I've had gas pains. Didn't know what it was, but it was gas. How is my dad doing? I haven't talked to him. He hasn't been in here. But I feel like he's doing good. Like my feelings feel like he's doing good instead of me feeling like I want to call him. Because I believe that he has the ability and comfortability to like reach out to me, I guess. And I think that he is comfortable knowing that I don't always reach out to people because I'm just tired. Yeah, you had a good week so far. Good. Your mental health thing on Thursday was really good, Triz. I appreciated it. You are in a lull. It sounds, this too shall pass. Exactly. Thank you. But Jenny, remember, it's okay to not be okay. And it's also okay to slow down the flow to take time for yourself. Absolutely. I agree. I was thinking this Saturday, or I don't know, over the past like 24 hours, I feel like I was thinking how I know I should maybe try harder to be taking breaks, but I need to figure out what it looks like to be able to unplug and when I feel like I'll be most comfortable to do that. Yeah. But I think that that's what holds me back then too, because I'm not putting it off because I want to put it off, but I'm putting it off because I can't seem to find when it makes sense. But that's why I've been trying to be intentional about, whatever I was just saying, because I forgot. They say men aren't supposed to cry, but when a man does, what does that mean? Does it mean that the person is weak, or does it mean they have feelings? It means that they have feelings. It means that they have gas. So fart. Girls fart. Girls fart. Girls cry. Boys fart. Boys cry. How about that? How about that? Boys don't want girls to fart. No, or rather, nobody wants girls to fart. Nobody wants boys to cry. Well, we all do it. Shout out to Shouting Tom for that one. Girls can fart, boys can cry. Yes, that's good. I probably should. I wonder if anyone's ever come up with that before. Because I fart a lot. That's the thing that made it the best for me. And I'm sorry you guys can process that however you want, but I'm like, everyone is very uncomfortable with how open I am about it in real life anyway. And they're always like, how have you built up the confidence that you are the way that you are? And I'm like, I ignored my grandma when she tells me that I need to go to the bathroom? Girls fart, boys cry. I think that's genius. Wow. Going over thinking, Jenny, just do what's best for you. We're all here for you at the end of the day. That's what I learned last weekend, Triz. That's for sure. No, I probably should go trademark this today. So please don't steal it, guys. Lurkers, who's lurking? If I get angry if I don't poop. I get severe gas pains if I've had to hold it in. Like, that's why I'm like, stop telling me to hold it in, because I'm going to hurt. So stop holding in your crying, because it's going to come back and bite you. If you get to where you can cry a little bit more, maybe you won't experience things as intensely. Also, where is the Jenny clothing merch? Dude, okay, actually, I was looking on a website the other day. Specifically, I want to make something as soon as I possibly can. That's why I feel like an octopus. Thunder, girls fart, boys cry, just so you know. But I'm sure you knew already. Did you fart today? You guys make me happy. Thunder, you always come into wonderful conversations. Blue Moon Bun, go back to sleep. Anyway, okay, so, I was talking with someone who had seen the, girls poot. You need a t-shirt that asks, did you fart today? No, I need a whole scene that's like, did you fart today on it? And it's just my face. And I'm like, so like, you know how, so the poison lady that you raid with the Pokemon, and she'll like change scenes and it'll like zoom in on her face and she'll like say something. It can be like, did you fart? And I'll be like, did you fart today? Okay, I'm just gonna let that pass. There's no music, so I don't know what to do with my head. How you feeling, Thunder? I would 100% buy a Jenny print merch that says boys cry, girls fart. Okay, so back where I was going was, from what I was reading, Stream Elements takes way too much of the money for me to go... Tris. Stream Elements merch store takes chemo with the biddies. Thank you so much. Welcome. Hello. We're just talking about farting and crying. I wonder if I've ever farted and cried at the same time. I'm gonna have to think about that. I'm definitely gonna notice it next time, guys. Like if I'm like upset, but I also just so happen to have gas too. Hey, thanks for those bits. Thank you for those bits, Thunder Tracks. Okay, yes, salt. All the salt. Just people things, talking about farting and crying. It happens when we sneeze too. Oh, facts, Immortal Logic, facts. I've sneezed. Like, I'll remember, like, sitting in class, and then there are those plastic chairs, and then it'll happen, and I'll be like, God dang it. Because people notice you sneeze too, and then it's like, you know, a plastic chair. I did take the meds. Thank you, Bark. I made sure to do it before my shower today since I didn't yesterday. This is a very interesting conversation. Blue Moon Bun, you crack me up. Pooping is important. Does anyone else have a poop stool? A squatty potty? I said anyone else because I have one. Got it for Christmas a few years ago. But anyway, I just put my legs up on the tub. A what? A squatty potty. It happens so fast you can't play off the fart when you sneeze. Yes, Triz, yes. Have you used a squatty potty? No. It's a stool that goes like under your toilet so you lift your legs up. Those school chairs enhance the sound. Ah. A what? Not the toilet? Mank says, I am poot. A squatty potty. A fart sneeze. We just go in the bush, Blue Moon Bun. Okay, so, frick. Anyway, merchandise. I basically am trying to find the best place to get it from. Stream Elements takes too much money, so now I have to do the research of finding where the best place to do that would be. Most cost effective and stuff. I have someone that has I know a few people that have Cricuts, but I don't have one, and using people's stuff is hard. Good morning. We call that the poot stand. Got a small poot stool in the bathroom. Fart jokes will never die. Facts. Yep, you put your feet on it when you poop. Exactly. Yeah, Maisha says, gotta Google it. Did you notice I used Yahoo search on accident? My freaking Google, or my search engine is Yahoo, apparently. So I'm not sure if I'm getting a G1 or an AK, but I'm getting one or the other Monday. I'm kind of excited. Well, that's cool. I am glad that you are getting that, and I am happy to hear that you are excited. However, any more discussion of that, I would prefer not to be in here. Just because that's not something that I'm not interested in that stuff. Like, if there's other people in the chat, that's cool, but like that's not of my interest. But I appreciate you sharing that you're excited about it. Found it. Are you gonna get one, my? It's life-changing. Thanks for lurking. What do we do now? I'm so off track. Okay, so yeah. Well, it's for targets. I'm heavily disabled in my shoulder. Oh, okay, sure. But I'm excited for you anyway. I know that people they do the things that they do. I see you, fam. What time did I start? 9:15, 10:15. Hey guys, it's been 2 hours. High five. Thanks for being here with me, friends. Yes. Go to sleep, Blue Moon Bun. Go to sleep, my friend. Thanks for being here. I'm glad you got to hang out today. Thunder, how are you feeling? Manx, oh, you're feeling excited. You can just use it as stepping school. Get my merch from Printify, Printful, and Spot. All 3 vendors are in the USA. They have Twitter. It's linked to my Shopify store that I pay for, so I get t-shirts for $10. Okay, cool. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Bark. Well, that's what I'm going to do today, or the next few... I just grew another octopus arm, so I'm... However many arms I have, Topus. You feel great. I'm glad you feel great, Thunder. Happy Saturday, friend. Follow those accounts. Will you whisper them to me so I can save them, please? I was watercoloring earlier. And hey, by the way, today and tomorrow's quote, every day is another opportunity for you to express some potential the world has yet to see. Besides being frustrated, I'm great. I hear you, Thunder. Hey, so, Bark, you said... Oh, wait, I'll read Blue Moon Bun first. Hold on. Oh, here's a nice thing that happened today that might make you smile. One of our new smallest chicken, Bugsy, was cuddling with our old chicken, Sandy, when they were going to sleep. Oh, go to sleep, Blue Moon Bun. That's so cute. I leveled up. What did I do? Okay, Bark, you said it's exhausting, but you will get 1% better every day and keep coming up with new ideas. So, you know how I said that we were watching videos? The videos we were watching were on Better Than Yesterday.
In January this year.
We watched one on feeling like giving up, the cookie jar method, and then the other one we watched was another one. I increased my productivity 10 times by turning my life into a game. Both of them are on the channel Better Than Yesterday. And so I brought up how you we're 1% better every day. Thank you. Okay, thank you. So I subscribed to him because let me now, while I have this link, let me post it in Discord so that everyone has them. Hey, Saneer. Thanks for lurking, friend. How are you feeling if you hear this?
Have you?
Doom scrolling for a good movie. How you feeling, Saneer? Happy Saturday, friend. Hello, Charmin Ultra Soft TP. Welcome. I'm glad to have you here. I just opened mine yesterday. How you feeling? I'm still lurking. I'm a mentor for an all-girls robotics competition team and forgot this morning is also the release party for the 2021 competition, so I'm watching that. That's neat, geeky girl. Thank you for sharing. What's your favorite genre? Does that mean I don't need to run to the store and get more? Funny. Oh, nice. I caught the hype train. Sorry, I opened my friend's stream because I think I'm gonna raid him, but there's a hype train, so I'm giving all the bits. But should we raid him during the hype train? There's 2 minutes left. You guys ready for a party? Let's go, let's go, let's go, jump in. It's Tim Boot Saturday, let's go right now, guys. Thank you guys for being here today. I really appreciated you guys hanging out with me while I painted, while I went through my emotions, while we watched these videos. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you each and every day. Happy Saturday. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm sorry for stopping abruptly, but I thought it would be fun. So let's go show love. It is Joel Swells. He's DJing. Let's go hype. Let's go. He's having a hype train, so we got to go now. Let's show love. You don't have to open your purse, but like, let's go hang out, show love, show all the emotes. Let's go, friends. Let's go. Thank you.